Hi, I'm Dawn Lingold, a registered nurse and an advocate for doing right by our patients. Ethics in research communication might sound like it's going to be trudging through tedious, dry regulations, but it really boils down to respect and honesty. Today, I'll show you how clear, ethical communication protects our participants and our integrity as professionals. Here's our roadmap. What good scientific communication really means, the non-negotiables for sharing data, the ethical must-dos when people, not just numbers, are involved in your studies, gray areas, navigating communication scenarios, tailoring your message to patients, families, and your healthcare team, and finally, some do's and don'ts for writing formal correspondence, so you'll be able to turn your clinical data into clear, actionable letters and reports. Each section will include real-world examples, so by the end, you'll walk away with some concrete strategies, not just theory. Let's start with the foundation, principles of scientific communication. Accuracy and transparency. Think of this as your accountability mirror. Don't sugarcoat or leave out the ugly bits. If your pilot data didn't pan out, say your sample size was too small, declare it. Hiding failed experiments erodes trust, wastes resources, and it can even send others down the wrong path. Clarity and brevity. Jargon is the kryptonite for comprehension. Explain big words, or better yet, swap them out with plain language. Replace hematologic parameters for blood counts. Define abbreviations the first time that you use them, and aim for short, punchy sentences. Your colleagues and your patients will thank you. And your IRB will too. Give credit where it's due. If your colleague ran the stats or your mentor found the funding, call it out. Proper citation honors contributions and avoids the ethical landmines of plagiarism. Moving on to ethics. This is where it really matters. When lives are on the line, ethics isn't optional. Informed consent. Imagine that you're the participant. Would you sign that form? It needs to be crystal clear with the risks spelled out. If you're working with Mary, a 78-year-old, and you hand her a 2-page form full of legalese, she might sign it without really grasping the risks. Instead, walk her through each point, what you're studying, the potential discomfort, her right to withdraw, and then pause and ask, does this make sense? Privacy and confidentiality. HIPAA isn't just a buzzword. Lock down records like you lock your front door at night. Remember HIPAA's mandate, the minimum necessary. If your database contains names, birthdays, and lab results, lock it down. Use de-identified codes for analysis, and never discuss a participant's details in the hallway. Minimizing harm. Always ask yourself, is there a less invasive way? It might mean swapping a blood draw for a finger prick, or it might require more frequent check-ins for adverse events. Build clear stopping criteria into your protocol, so if someone's blood pressure spikes, you're ready to pause or stop. Even beyond consent forms, our everyday words carry weight. Watch for coercion or undue influence. A small token of appreciation, like a $10 gift card, can honor someone's time. But if you're dangling a $200 incentive, you risk undue influence, having people participate for the money, not out of genuine interest. Cultural and language barriers. If Spanish is someone's first language, hand them a Spanish consent form. You can partner with a certified medical interpreter and have your materials translated. That extra step can build rapport and ensure that they truly understand. Timely reporting. If something goes sideways, say an unexpected side effect, don't wait or let it sit in your drafts till Monday. Ethical communication means an immediate heads up to your IRB and clinical team. Fast reporting can prevent harm in the next participant. Communication looks very different depending on your audience. If we're talking about patients and families, you want to ditch the medical speak. Replace your ejection fraction is 55% with your heart is pumping well, just like we want. And then ask, can you tell me in your own words what you understand? That's teach back in action. If we're looking at colleagues and providers, here you can bring in acronyms like SBAR, so long as everyone understands what they mean. Empathy and active listening. If a parent asks, "Will this hurt my child?" you could pause and say, "I can hear the concern in your voice. Let's talk through each step so you know exactly what to expect." That empathetic moment can reduce anxiety and build trust. Emails and reports are still communication, just in written form. You want to treat them like mini manuscripts. In the intro, you want to state your purpose up front. For example, "I'm writing to share preliminary findings from our medication adherence survey." State it clearly so that your reader isn't guessing. In the body, put facts first, methods, findings, and then next steps. For example, we surveyed 50 outpatients. 30% reported missed doses due to cost. We recommend exploring a generic option. In your closing, you always want to keep your tone objective and respectful. For example, "Please review these recommendations by July 15th and let me know if you'd like to discuss further." If you reference published guidelines or previous studies, cite them APA style, and always run a spell check, and if possible, have a peer glance over it. To wrap up, ethical communication is more than just a checkbox. It isn't just policy. It's how we build trust between researchers and participants. When we're transparent, respectful, and responsive, we protect our patients' lives and advance science ethically. Thanks for spending time with me. Stay ethical.